I remember pulling into Auburn for the first time when we moved up here our freshman year. It was me and three buddies from high school, and for us, we were on top of the world. We were away from home, and I remember that very specifically that first day of class where I show up and I'm in this auditorium of like 300 or 400 people, and I remember thinking, holy cow, like this group of people is 3 times the size of my graduating class. And I remember for the first time in my life feeling like a very small fish in a very, very large ocean. And I think that's the case for most of us. We show up at college, and for the first time we're asking questions of ourselves and of life and of things that we've never really asked before, and we've never really had good reason to. And it's questions like, what am I going to study? And am I going to join a fraternity or a sorority? Am I going to, who knows, study abroad, whatever the case may be. And ultimately, the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, am I going to follow Jesus or not? Largely, a lot of what the world tells us while we're in college is very contradictory to the things that we believe about God, the things that we know about His Word, and the things that we think maybe He would ask of His people. We're constantly bombarded with options, and we're constantly coming to these crossroads in life where we choose this way or that way. And what we see from a very early standpoint in the Bible is that God has provided an ancient, tried, and true path. And it was established by God Himself. God spoke these words to the prophet Jeremiah. He said, "Stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient path. Ask where the good way is and walk in it, and you will find rest for your souls." Life is full of choices, and during this season of your life, you're going to make choices that affect the next 10, 20, years of your life or even beyond. And these are not just your run-of-the-mill choices. These are questions like, well, what do I want to do with my life? Where am I going to live when I graduate? What degree am I going to pursue? And even bigger questions like, what is my purpose? What was I created to do, and who was I created to be? And God, what does that mean for me in my life? Matthew records this story of Jesus showing up on the Sea of Galilee, and he finds these two brothers, and he sees them fishing. He goes to them and he says, "Come and follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And these guys are faced with a decision. They're at a crossroads in their life where their identity, who they are, what they know about the world is all wrapped up in kind of where they are as fishermen. And Jesus presents them with this opportunity for something more. He throws a whole new option in their face and says, "Listen, I'm going this direction, and you're at a crossroads in your life, and you can come with me, and you can lead people to know who I am, or you can continue in the life that you knew before." The earlier followers of Jesus, after He left this world, they would have called this idea of following Jesus the way. Today we call that discipleship, this whole idea of seeing the teachings and hearing the teachings of one person and adhering to those and then furthering them with our lives. The reality is that Jesus is so much more than just someone who tells us about the direction to go. He's so much more than just a travel agent that kind of points us in the right direction and says, here's some good things along the way that you should probably hit up, and here's how I did it when I was there. So good luck with doing all that. The reality is that Jesus is a guide, and He goes with us and before us. And from the very beginning of time, He established this ancient path, this way of knowing the Father. And even now, not having lived personally with Jesus physically on earth, we know that Jesus is with us and that He goes before us and that He's constantly leading us at each of these crossroads in our life. He's leading us to make decisions that are for His kingdom and that are for His glory. At Cornerstone Church, our hope for you as a college student here in Auburn is that you would choose the ancient path. You would stand at the crossroads and you would look and you say, "God, what is your will for my life? What way are you leading me in this?" We hope you'll join us this summer for 8 weeks of intensive discipleship. Know that this will not be an ordinary summer here in Auburn. That together we will learn together, we will travel together, we will pray together, worship together, and grow together in hearing God's voice. We'll ask questions like, "God, what am I here for? What is my purpose? What have you made me to do? Who have you made me to be as a son or a daughter of you?" Our hope is that at the end of this 8 weeks, that you'll be able to look back and see where God has been moving in your life. And you'll have answers to the questions, the big questions that you've been asking about who He is and what you've been created to do. And you'll be able to move forward in those things out of obedience to wherever God may be calling you.